I'd like to welcome you to Newport High School and thank you all for coming out today for Senator Wyden's annual Lincoln County Town Hall.
Thank you. And how great it is to be looking out at the faces of democracy in this community. Usually I start with a short bit of information, like a couple of issues we're going to talk about today. How many of you want the Coast Guard helicopter back? But I'm here on the ground because I want to know what's going to happen in the air and make sure that people can be rescued in the ocean. How about it? One of the most important reasons I'm here is because of the fishermen's wives. Let's give them a round of applause. I talked to the Coast Guard commander about an hour or so ago. It's a very pleasant guy. He was sincere, but his answers to the questions we've been asking were unacceptable, and we're going to stay at it till we get answers. So, will this community accept non-answers?
No!
Are you going to stay silent?
No!
All right, we're going to talk about what we're going to do together to turn this situation around. We've spent a decade fighting to not have to go through what we went through this morning. And we're going to mention a couple of times that Donald Trump signed a document in his first term saying we wouldn't have to do this again. I'm going to hold him to that document. And the reason this is so important is for fishing in this community. Minutes matter. The weather is so cold. We can't take risks. So I want you to know we're going to go right to questions. There's no subject off limits. And we're going to stay at this question of getting the helicopter back and making sure that the community is safe from the abuses of ICE.
I thought of when they talked about the ICE detention center here was not the detention center itself, but was the possibility that it might be a holding place for departing from our NOAA port and loading them up there and shipping them out into international waters somehow. And was wondering if there's been any kind of discussion or awareness from NOAA about or whether that's even a reasonable thing that could possibly happen.
Well, I don't think it's reasonable. Put it this way. It's very clear we're going to have to watchdog every step of the way what goes on with respect to NOAA. Because I could see a backdoor kind of strategy where they were pretending to run some kind of government program or new ones, but use it as something that would support ICE. And I want you to know on my watch, we're not going to let it happen.
I want to say thank you to the lady who recorded the situation while my mom was getting harassed by ICE agents. I spoke out because it's important for the Hispanic community. I saw a bunch of people speaking out about the fishermen and the Hispanic culture, the Hispanic community. I spoke out because it opened my eyes to see a lot of people speaking out about the Hispanic culture. It made me realize a lot of people do care about the Hispanic culture. My father, like I said, my father got taken away by ICE and he got scared. I want a lot of people to know, if you get stopped by ICE, don't be afraid. Speak out to them. Stand up for yourself. My father did not stand up for himself. He got scared because I think that moment he was realizing that it might be the last time. That morning, September 17th, I never got to say goodbye to my father, even for school. I woke up and I got ready for school as normal. I didn't want to wake him up because every single time he takes us to school and he was sleeping. I didn't want to wake him up. So me and my siblings got on the bus. I had this weird gut feeling that I've never had. And I remember I got to school, went with my friend Macaulay, and I forgot about it. And in fourth period, I got called up to the office. It's really not normal for me to get called up and go home, because I always go home if it's an eye doctor's appointment or a doctor's appointment. But I would know who would pick me up and what time. It really became strange to me because I never get picked up unless I ask to get picked up. And then I got to the main office, and that's when my older cousin and my mom told me what had happened. She did not know what would happen. My mom got harassed by ICE agents. They kept telling her that that her and me and my siblings were under arrest when me and my siblings are American citizens. We were born here. And she got offensive because we and my younger siblings did not do anything. We didn't do anything. And that's what made her mad. So she said,
Kid was courageous, and thank you.
everyone here wants the helicopter back. No one wants it gone. No, I don't think anyone in here wants an ICE facility. If the ICE facility was here, it would drag away tourists. No one would want to come because of how bad it is. Thank you.
My question is, what, if anything, can we do to get Republican politicians and our Republican neighbors and friends to wake up and to apply pressure to the Trump administration and retain our democracy?
First of all, is what in effect was codified by this appropriations matter that Donald Trump signed off on. It was Democrats and Republicans. So when Republicans say, oh, it's a big deal, or it's not a big deal, that's not true. They signed off on a document to make sure that everybody, blue and red, and Democrats and Republicans would be consulted.
And it's really important for us to fight, all of our local politicians have been backing us, have been trying on their end to do what they can do, but we're at the point where a lawsuit, we feel like we have a clear case for winning. When we won the last time, there were things that were put in place to keep this from happening again. So they did not follow the law. They are breaking the law, pulling it out. We had no communication prior to this. We have no current communication. So our only resource right now are the courts.
What's wrong? But what I don't see is where accountability is coming from and where consequences are coming from. We know that Trump and others lie. We know that they ignored the laws. But when and who will be accountable for
In Newport, everybody knows the fisherman. Everybody's connected. If you don't know a fisherman, you know somebody that knows a fisherman. It reaches to Toledo, Celeste, Yachts, Walpole, all these places, giant spider of people. It isn't just the fishermen, it's the tourists. And last year, or this last fall, in Walport, there was a small bakery that was engine failed and was sucked out to the Johns in Walport. That helicopter hadn't been here. Half hour later, from Tuesday, that hadn't been yet. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about lives, our community members. And I appreciate what you're doing. I think it's a bipartisan issue. It's not red, blue, any of the same. It's all of us as a community.
The federal government needs to show Newport some respect. They need to show us some respect and the simple courtesy of being honest with us. Because they snuck the helicopter out in the dead of night, didn't tell anybody, and now they're trying to sneak an ICE facility in here, and again not telling anybody. The senator has asked, our governor has asked, our city has asked, I've asked, nobody will tell us precisely what's going on. But we see the evidence because they are continuing to talk to property owners about a place that they can base this facility. They are continuing to reach out to small businesses and see who can deliver water to some facility at the airport, who can take 10,000 gallons of human waste every day away from the airport. And they're putting job postings online for detention officers, for bus drivers, for medical personnel. And we're a long, long way from Washington, D.C., but we're not stupid.
That's right.
At the city council meeting, I want to say thank you to all of you guys who came here and support the fishermen and the Hispanic culture. Like Mr. Wyden said, Donald J. Trump said he was gonna only get the criminals who are like drug dealers, murderers, and terrorists. My father was not a drug dealer or any of those things. He was an innocent person who obeyed the laws.
Just don't even want to consider happening. It's something that is so horrendous. The idea that people could be shackled and housed and deported against their will with no due process, no representation. It's absolutely unthinkable. It's absolutely against the Constitution of the United States. It's something that just can't be allowed to happen.